everybody, and welcome back to Yo-Ho Bloggers Life for Me cooking series. And this week is actually a recipe from one of my many cookbooks. This is called Chef Mickey Treasures from the Vault and Delicious New Favorites. And this is one of my favorite of the Disney cookbooks. Actually, all of them are my favorite, but this is one of my favorites. Probably in my top 2. And this week I'm going to talk about Cinderella's Royal Table Chocolate Cream Cheese Buckle. I've only been to Cinderella's Royal Table for breakfast, so I've never had this in the restaurant, but I have made this twice. I recently just made this for 4th of July barbecue. And let's go ahead and get into this. The recipe says that it makes 24 cupcakes. That's if you make the really smaller ones. I only have large muffin tins personally, so I think I had about 8 to 10 large cupcakes just for reference. And for the cream cheese filling, you're going to need 8 ounces of cream cheese softened, a 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And for the streusel topping, you're going to need 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 4 tablespoons of softened butter. And for the chocolate cake part, you're only going to need a boxed chocolate cake. Just make sure to buy one that doesn't have pudding or chocolate syrup in it. And 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. The first time I made this recipe, I was actually really intimidated to make this because these look amazing, but it's basically 3 different recipes that you just throw together at the end, and this is super simple, and this is all things that you probably already have in your cabinet or pantry already. And give me 1 second and I'll show you how to make this. Okay, like I said before, this recipe is super simple, and it's basically 3 different recipes that you're going to make 3 different recipes and then combine them all together at the end. And for the first part, for the cream cheese filling, you're going to mix 8 ounces of cream cheese softened, which I already have all the ingredients in my bowl, a 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you're just going to mix that well and then set aside. And there's the end product right there, and we're just going to set this aside. Okay, so the next step is you're going to just make a chocolate cake, the mix, from the directions on the box, and I'm just using a Moist Supreme Devil's Food from Pillsbury. And you're going to need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and I already have my oil, water, and eggs in here, so I'm going to just mix this up real quick. And for this next part, you're going to fold in 1.5 cups of chocolate chip and then set this aside. And I just like to do this in half batches. And I just use Nestle Semi-Sweet. I get by the huge Costco pack, and because I bake a lot during the year, so. Okay, and this is almost mixed up, and we're just gonna finish with the streusel topping for the next step. And you're just gonna set this aside. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is to make the streusel, and that's 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 4 tablespoons of flour, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 4 tablespoons of butter. And you're just going to mix all of this together with a fork until it's a crumbly texture, and then set aside. It does take a bit for it to get to the right consistency. And after you make this, people think you're this amazing baker, and it was so hard to make. Like a bunch of people at work last time I brought these in said it was the best cupcake they ever had in their life. So be prepared for that to be said. And these do last quite a few days. You just have to remember to put them in the fridge because of the cream cheese topping. I'm making these for 4th of July. We're going to our neighbors, and I thought this would be something different to bring for a celebration. And as you can see, it's almost done. And this was super easy to make. This is something easy and quick you can make as long as you have all the ingredients already in your fridge and cupboard. Okay, and I'm gonna set this aside, and then we're gonna start adding all of this together so you can see how I do that. Okay, the first step of this, we're gonna fill our muffin tins halfway up with the chocolate batter with the chips that we did. And I like to make these into jumbo muffins. It doesn't make as many. And I did spray all of my tins with the Pam baking spray, just so you know. That is my go-to baking spray out of all of them on the market. And the next thing we're gonna do is take that cream cheese filling and put about 1 tablespoon on top of this chocolate mixture. Maybe that one. And the last thing we're going to do is sprinkle some streusel right on top of there. And after all of that is done, we're going to bake these 18 to 20 minutes until your toothpick comes out clean. And you need to cool these at least 10 minutes before you take them out of the molds. And I'll be right back. Okay everybody, these are my final cupcakes. And I did make extra large cupcakes for these. It's just personally what my family likes, and when I give them away, it's just easier to cut one in half and split them that way. But you can always make a lot more. It's more time consuming if you make a lot more. You can use the smaller cupcake can, but it's going to take a lot longer, just so you know. And this did make exactly 8, and this was really simple to make. Like I said, you just need a boxed cake mix and all the other ingredients. And this is super, super easy. And here I cut them one open so you could see what the inside looks like. The chocolate chips really do add something to these. These are so, so, so good. Oh my god. You have to try this the next time that you need to make cupcakes. And there's the streusel topping right there. And remember to find us on yohoyohobloggerslifeforme.blogspot.com. I'm on Twitter at yohoyohoblogger. We are on Instagram at Yoho Yoho Bloggers Life for Me. I'm on Pinterest. All my other social media is on my website. If you go to any of my blog posts at the very bottom, I post all of my social media. I have a Disney podcast that goes on Mondays on iTunes called Miscellaneous Discussions. And for more of amazing Disney recipes, please check out my blog at Yoho Yoho Bloggers Life for Me.blogspot.com. And if you ever have any Disney recipe requests, please email me or send me a message on Facebook and that. Thank you and have a Disney day. Bye.